Council Watch founder Dean Hurlston joins us. Dean, welcome. Well, none of this would surprise you, but I mean, why are these local councils feeling that they need to somehow get themselves involved in the politics of the Middle East?
Thanks, Steve. Look, I think in what is a horrific week for so many in our Jewish community and our wider community, being exposed is that activists have captured our councils. And these activists, who don't actually care about potholes and rubbish and off-street parking and overdevelopment and all the things that the ordinary resident wants councillors to focus on, these activists have infiltrated deliberately our councils, and they have taken their attention in directions that none of us could have imagined, but sadly, too often we see all the time. Enough is enough. As you rightly said today, Steve, this is not what we want our councillors focused on. We want them focused on the basics, the things that matter, the cost of living pressure on us to pay our rates, not international and global conflicts, and certainly not doing things that incite more fear and more division and more trouble in our communities. I mean, haven't the Jewish community been through enough already?
They certainly have. I mean, look, this woman's been doing this for a long time, but you think even she would have the good manners to not do it this week or this month or maybe ever again, given what happened in Bondi. I mean, she's a member of the Socialist Alliance, and so she's probably typical, as you say, Dean, of a group of people, green left activists, who managed to get themselves voted in on small numbers of votes in councils in inner Melbourne and in parts of Sydney, where the community goes, oh, well, they're a greenie or they're from the left, so we'll vote for them. I mean, but it's doing nothing for the ratepayers. I mean, why would that council be allowed to fly a Palestinian flag on a flagpole above the council chambers?
Because again, as you say, Steve, we've got these radical activists, these lefties that are so left it's not funny. Now, no one has a problem with considering these issues, but a council can't do anything about something that's happening in the Middle East. So it's just nonsense and wasting everybody's time. If you want to do that, go run for federal parliament and get away from the local council. Steve, the other thing I really wanted to point out, which we wrote about today on our Facebook, is that ASIO has been warning every council in Australia since 2000 repeatedly that bad actors and foreign influence powers are trying to infiltrate, usurp, and distract our councils. And it's no secret that that's exactly what's happening. They have infiltrated, particularly in Victoria, a lot of our councils in sort of inner suburbs, the same in New South Wales. I mean, for goodness sake, in New South Wales, you've got Clover Moore marching across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. This is not what we want to see our councillors doing. We are sick and tired of it, and we know that it is bad actors and foreign influence, and ASIO has been warning. This just shows that our councils are out of their depth, out of their league, and are radically being infiltrated. We've had, for goodness sake, this week, Hobson's Bay Council looking to put a motion to stop Jewish and Israeli procurement right after the massacre happened. What is their level of ASIO experience and foreign affairs, and where the bloody hell is their sensitivity? There isn't any. And I think what we need every single Victorian to do is to focus on figuring out who these radical people are and ensuring that they never, ever have a place or a voice in our local councils again. Get our councils back to potholes, roads, and rubbish bins. For goodness sake.
Yeah, it leads to a wider question. I'm going to talk to Campbell Newman in a moment, who, of course, ran the city of Brisbane, the biggest local council in the country. Doesn't it lead to and this is a longer discussion we can have at another time, but doesn't it lead to a serious debate about the number of councils we need and how we should limit the amount of councils we have, make one huge council much bigger, and then you might get rid of some of these activists?
Yeah, look, we're the first people to say that we don't want to see it all just pushed off to the state. But I tell you what, Steve, if we've got 620 councillors in the state of Victoria, 2,500 across the country, and this is what they want to spend their time on, then let's get rid of the vast majority of them, make some super councils, and make it so much harder for them to have their flights of fancy wasting millions of dollars on rubbish that isn't their job. Let's amalgamate these councils. Let's start driving some efficiency. Let's get rid of at least two-thirds of the CEOs and councillors that are literally woke ideology, fantasists, and start focusing our councils on the stuff that hurts our hip pocket. This is just duplication of federal stuff, and they have no idea what they're doing. Get them out of this.
Well said, Dean. Thank you. We'll catch up with you shortly.